or their credit cards were used somewhere else, we'll take that complaint
Right.
and do the investigation. And depending on where the investigation goes, we can coordinate with another agency. There are also when we'll take an initial report and forward that information to the actual agency with jurisdiction.
Right.
And for the most part, we only deal in our own jurisdiction, but there are a few exceptions.
Understood. So, so if it was a crime, like an aggravated assault, you would take that complaint, right?
Yeah, if it occurred in the city of Frisco and it was an aggravated assault, yes, we would take that complaint.
Okay. And so, but if it did not happen in the city of Frisco, but I could still make that complaint to you, though, correct?
So you could, like I said, ideally something that important, we would see other agency involved immediately.
Okay.
And refer you to that agency because there's more immediacy to that.
Understood. And so, and we're speaking hypotheticals, but suppose, and this has nothing to do with your department, I promise you. Suppose that other agency that I was to report to wasn't cooperative, like they would not take the complaint. What would be my next step? Like they literally, hypothetically, dispatch wouldn't put me through to anybody. Yeah.
So the next step in if a city wouldn't take, like a city agency wouldn't take it, then the county also has jurisdiction.
That's what I thought.
You could go to Denton or Collin County, say in our terms, and make the complaint with them.
That's what I thought. What was your name, Lieutenant? I'm gonna high five you when I see you ever. What was your name? I'm sorry.
Colvin, Collvin.
Lieutenant Colvin. That's what I thought. That's the actual application of law. Meaning, if the city law enforcement agency is, let's say, incapacitated for some reason, they can help me. The next step is the county, right? Because the county, the sheriff has the next. They have jurisdiction over the whole county.
Correct.
Right? Not just
the county.
Sure, not just unincorporated areas, but the whole county itself for backup purposes, I should say, right?
Correct.
Because like a little town like Sanger, they only have 2 cops, and so the county would have to come back them up. And so, okay, so that's what I was very curious about. I know that's how it kind of works. And so, one more question. And you're being very helpful. So let's say for a federal violation, or hold on, let's say just for the applicability of the application of law, you being a law enforcement officer, right? You can take that criminal complaint because jurisdiction. Okay, so let me rephrase this. So jurisdiction is important, right? But is that a legal application, or is that is that an executive, or is that a judicial function per se? You know what I'm trying to say? Like if for example, I filed my complaint with you, if I didn't file, let's say with let's say for Plano, would that jeopardize the actual complaint? It shouldn't, right? Because that's something on the law enforcement side, not on the criminal complaint side of the civilian.
Right. It might delay the process.
Okay.
But it would, like, we wouldn't investigate the offense. We could take the complaint and put it on to the other agency, depending on.
Right. That makes sense. Okay, that's what I figured because the law is the law, right? You guys are law enforcement officers, and so and like for your oath and the Constitution, you're supposed to enforce that laws, not just local policies. And so legally you can't overstep their turf or their jurisdiction. Then is that how it works?
So I can't. So basically, I have jurisdiction throughout the entire state.
And also, we would be happy, Mr. Stark. We'd be happy to come. We'd be happy to take your complaint from you here at the sheriff's office. You'll just come up here to the sheriff's office. We'll get that taken.
Okay, so Captain Hatch, I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm asking this a direct question, and I want you to answer this under the color of law. Are you telling me the only way I can get help from you guys is come up there and file a complaint?
Sir, until I can establish who you are, and for you to complete a written statement regarding what your information, what you're alleging here, then we'll be happy to investigate that for you. I'm telling you the process of how to go about doing that.
I understand that, but I need somebody to come to me, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, we can't send deputies outside of Collin County for that purpose. You're more than welcome to come to the sheriff's office to do that.
So Captain Hatch, I'm going to ask you a very specific question. So you tell me under the color of law for your oath, you cannot come help me.
Mr. Stark, I'm explaining to you how this process can take place.
Is that your policy? Or is that actual law?
Sir, what I'm explaining to you is how
the law. Yes,
Mr. Stark. Mr. Stark, I've answered.
You know my name. You know my name.
Any breach of the peace, anytime someone's in danger, but like I can't, outside of the 2 counties that Frisco is in, I can't do stuff. Now I could arrest for any traffic violation anywhere in Collin and Denton County. Once I get outside of those counties, then that part of my jurisdiction ends. But I could still do DWI, assault, something like that where somebody's in danger.
Right. Because loss of life and preventing bodily injury is number one. And so only in a circumstance like that, that would be an exigent circumstance. Would you be able to act, let's say, if you were in Dallas?
Correct.
Okay. And so, okay. And so that would be on you, but you don't lose your legal authority. But the actual jurisdictional law enforcement agency must take over the investigation of that.
Correct.
Okay. But you can make the initial one. See, that's what I thought.
I'm just a black man with cameras.